Hello and welcome back to The Grey Cricketer, day 2 of the SCG Test Match, Pezza, and we thought we're better to cover day 2 of the Sydney New Year's Test Match than right here, a 30-minute drive south of Perth in Fremantle. Our first time in the Fremantle, Pezza, but I am really enjoying the SCG Test Match in Freo.
Indeed. It's how we've covered it all series. Again, the first game was in Perth. We were in Adelaide when it was on in Sydney a couple of days ago. Where were we? Brisbane. Now we're in Freo. We're all over the fucking joint.
Yep. Well, it was another interesting day's play, I suppose. Obviously, cut off for bad light. We'll talk about pink balls later, and also cricket balls, generally speaking, and pink eye, and pinky, and the brain. But I suppose the highlight of the day is Dave Warner's possibly his last innings. I suspect not, but he was dismissed for 34, whilst also given several lives once again. So I think it's time to go, and he should never play again in tests.
Yeah, I didn't like upon his exit there was a confusion over are we farewelling him for the final time, or is it he's simply farewelling the day 2 crowd at the SCG?
Yeah. I'm not coming
the guys.
back.
I only go for day 1 and 2. I'm back in the office. On my yacht. On my yacht. Haves and have yachts. And so that annoyed me just from a cleanliness perspective. But yeah, he did look every inch the player for whom I wouldn't say the eyes are painted on, but the feet aren't quite there. Like he basically was like stuck on the crease all innings. A couple of nice flourishes with the bat, but he couldn't. He wasn't keen to get in and sniff the ball. You know?
He played a nice cover drive off Hassan Ali, but it was nice in the sense that he middled it. But his weight was all over the place, and it felt like an eyes have gone shot.
Yeah,
he middled it and went for 4.
It doesn't feel as good off the tongue to say, "Oh, his weight's gone." In fact, for most people, that would be good.
There's been a couple of blowouts already for me.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, not here. What I wouldn't give.
February's my month.
Come on, February.
Come on, February. Pezza, just whisper it quietly.
Okay.
I don't know if I guess what I'm saying is Pakistan has sort of pushed Australia in the last couple of Test matches at least. They were blown away in the first Test match there, but I feel like Australia have not really played that well except for probably Marsh and Cummins. I feel like Pakistan are right in this game. Had they not gone off for light, it felt like a tricky period there with Marnus, some spin into the rough. Available for the off spinners, but and the way that Warner got out as well, just biting off the pitch. This is going to be hard to chase. In this last inning. So the
197 in arrears. Yeah, there's a fair amount.
There's a way to go. Now, obviously, like all the Australian batters have got great records of the SCG because it's a dead rubber and it's been a dog shit wicket, and Australia just cashes in as we like to do. But I'm just getting to the stage of like, are the boys tired after a big year? I mean, they are in front. They've won the series, and I want perfection. I guess what I'm asking because before the summer started, Pezza, I was worried that no team would win a session, an hour. And it's been a little bit close for me these last couple of games.
Yeah, you don't like it, yeah.
It's a little bit like,
Well, I mean, yeah. Oh, yeah. Very odd reaction to questioning the Australian team's performance, but it sounds like, Anyway, like that said, he goes, this is what this Australian team does. I mean, that's what the whole World Cup was. It was what the Ashes was. Like, they yawn, they chest. Couple of guys step up and get the job done. You know, that's really how. There's no complete team performance. There's a sort of team that where the manager's going to say like, oh, we're going to give someone a smacking soon. Yeah, you know what I mean? Oh, mate, they're going to put 7. They're going to put 7 past, but and it'd be weird because. Yeah. So, I still have faith. But yeah, they're they have a bit of work to do.
I guess what I'm saying is that Pakistan have pushed Australia to a point already in the last 1 and a bit Test matches, and if catches had been taken, more pressure would be able to put on. And you'd think overall Pakistan might have even got themselves in front of these games. I mean, the catcher was put down by the debutant, who was obviously out for a duck in the second over of the game. Has then shelled the catch where he never really should have been on the field because someone was taking a piss. Yeah. He was off the field having a piss.
Having a les kiss.
So he'd been on the field for an hour, and 1 hour had been played in the game, less than 10 overs in the day. No, I got a piss. I'm on for a piss here.
He might have just wanted to break, like you're a kid in class. It's like, I just got to go to the toilet. Piss. You know what I mean?
It's a death of Test cricket.
No, you can't.
Blokes can't stay on the field for 1 hour.
Yeah.
Standing at 1. Any danger? I mean, I guess it was another highlight reel for the calamity that has been Pakistan's feelings since about 1947.
Why that year? Sorry. Yeah.
Well, that's when they became a nation, is my point.
Indeed.
So anyway, I guess Khawaja had some nice flourishes a little bit, but before he was strangled down the leg side. Now it's Smith and Marnus at the crease, but I still feel like there's enough in it for Pakistan here. 197 in arrears.
Totally. Australia's new opener, Steve Smith.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Male knocking around. Mm-hmm. I don't know what sort of male it is. I saw it was a piece from Lawler. As in a written piece,
okay,
yeah. And but I think he was quoting something that Watto had said at their event the other night. Watto was asked who might step in, but and then I saw Pidge also saying that he heard from a little birdie that Steve Smith's not opposed to it.
Mate, what don't we just love a little secret from Steve Smith?
Fucking
love a little rumor, just a little whisper. You know, he might retire. It's coming to know, and then you ask him, he's like, I don't know. And so he's like, well, he hasn't denied it.
It's amazing, isn't it? Because like throughout all of this conversation about like, well, who might become a makeshift opener in order to crowbar the boy wonder, who's 24, Cameron Green into the side. He's almost retired, well, Cameron Green.
To be fair, to be fair, he can't hire a car yet in some states.
That's true. Okay, fair enough. But like, and every single player that was asked about it, you know, like who wasn't opening the batting, Marnus, Travis Head, Mitch Marsh, were just like absolutely not. And no one even fucking bothered to ask Steve Smith with everything that we've seen and heard from him throughout his whole career. Yeah. It was like the guy will have a legitimate conniption if he has to change. But, you know, you just cock the old eye there and go, oh, I don't mind it.
I can see that, yeah.
I can see it.
I think they
Because then the question is like, well, who's a better opener? You know, Cameron Bancroft, Matt Renshaw, Marcus Harris, or Steve Smith? You ask most people around Australia, it's like, all right, if that's my choice. I mean, if someone's batting for my mother's life.
Yeah, weird scenario again.
Once again, it's a gun to my mum's head.
Her gambling habits have gotten in the way.
That's right. She didn't pay me footy rent back when I was 6. If we're in that kind of scenario, you're probably like, oh, I'm picking a smudge.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's so funny that no one even bothered to ask Steve Smith. I mean, I think they asked Steve Orr before they asked Steve Smith. Tugger, fancy up top there, Doug?
Think about that, Doug. Sorry, I'm filming a wasp taking on a spider. Did you notice when, you know, like when Warner got out, like all the cameras got themselves ready, had the flyover, the drone, every shot under the sun ready to go, and there was still confusion, and like people were expecting it was going to be but possibly going to be quite a, you know, a big kind of emblematic bat raise to the crowd, but instead he was like screaming. No, he was screaming into his arm, fucking. All the way for the monetization purposes.
Yeah. Then he did a little wave, which I thought was nice. So
right,
it was kind of childlike. I kind of liked it. I kind of liked that. Bring that back. We saw Rizwan in the first innings just go double hand up. He was obviously playing for offside.
Once again, yeah.
But then Warner just... I think
Napoleon Dynamite kind of thing. Just, bye. We've never been able to peg his personality.
Just waving to some fuckwit in the members wearing a fedora.
Or the Bra Boys or something.
He's fucking sipping on an oyster from...
What about with Uzi? Goffey again, just not out. Doesn't like it.
He doesn't want to give it.
I kind of like it.
I was thinking about do umpires go in and out of form? Is that a thing?
They have to. No one talks about it.
In and out of pints of milk, for sure.
I watched some stuff with Aaron Rodgers and Jimmy Kimmel the other day. I'm taking a back seat. I'm taking a back seat for a while.
Keep going, asshole.
Yeah. But yeah, Australia's off for light at 2:22 p.m. And 197 in arrears. It does. It feels like a long way away, especially under brooding SCG skies. So much cricket that happens at the SCG, as you said earlier. Like it's either it's a dead rubber or a ball draw or something. Not to be confused with a ball war, Breaker Morant.
Or condoms on the bottom of a brothel floor, dead rubbers.
Oh God, I forgot what I was going to say now.
So much happens to the MCGs.
The SCG, sort of and like it's got a last day of school vibe all the time. Like someone's scoring runs. The SCG crowd is happy again. They're full to the brim with Merryvale, beverages and food, at exorbitant prices. Right. And someone's scoring a big 100, and we confect some issue about something. But everyone seems happy and appreciative at the game for whatever the fuck happens. And the pink test gives it a really nice optic of friendliness and happiness.
Tomorrow's the day.
Tomorrow's the day.
Yep.
So and Australia's usually dusted the opposition, but this one feels a little bit like
I can say something.
Someone needs a big 100. Otherwise, once again, we're Argus reviews.
Yeah, that's right. I feel something in my fingers and indeed my loins. We should shout out Smith Optics Australia, because you see them all over the country. You see them all over your screens this summer. SmithOpticsAustralia.com. You can use the code FAST if you want to tell them that TGC sent you there. The code is FAST.
And what do you get?
Well, Pezza, you get 25% off your purchase. You only have to pay 3/4 of the price of it from telling them that you heard it from here.
And this isn't like that's actually an exclusive discount. He goes, that's not coming across in like different campaigns that are running Smith Optics. Like they asked us basically, how do you want to play this?
Yeah,
we just went maximum amount that can be discounted for fans.
Yep.
So when you get on there and you join the most recent I've seen, it was Alex Carey on Channel 7 actually commentating today. That's how kind of last day at school vibe
this is sensational.
Australia's none for 50 or 60 or whatever the fuck it is. And now Alex Carey's commentating with his Smith Optics over his head. Just beautiful result. I hope I got that right as well, by the way.
Yes.
I've got it wrong before, but yeah.
SmithOpticsAustralia.com. Use the code FAST if you want to get around them. Pez, can I just shout out as well just the energy from Pakistan? Like, there is something about the freshness of the side. I mean, look, it can go two ways, because if they get pumped and be like inexperienced side,
of course,
just
the way that
Jamal Amir and then Mir Hamza have brought, but the energy that they've brought. I'm trying to think of I can't remember anything, which is the problem. I can't remember what happened yesterday, so that is that is an issue for
medical
me.
issue.
Yeah, neurologically speaking. But just like bowlers coming to Australia and really putting pressure on Australian batsmen. I'd never heard of these guys before, which again is their problem. It's got nothing to do with me. That's their problem that I don't know who they are. He
started in twos at Hawkesbury.
Look, the Indian guys have come out here in the last couple of years when they have done, and like Bumrah stands out because he's fucking so good. Rabada, another one, world class. But I guess so it's a combination of like being very surprised that they've brought the energy, but when the way they performed is fucking outstanding. These guys are serious cricketers. And when Australia beats them 3-0, that'll be proof in the pudding. But I mean,
magnanimous stuff.
I'm fucking into these guys' energy hard. Yeah. I'm into it. Seriously,
and mate, the amount of energy you have to bring if you are flinging them down at like low 130s at best,
at test level,
against these guys on like their home track,
right,
goes to show that you've got like you're putting some heaviness on that ball without it being kind of manifesting sort of like in evidence or mathematics.
Physics, mathematics, hard evidence, DNA.
That's the vibration that Mir Hamza and Amir Jamal are creating. So, I think that's a good shout out. I like it. I saw Jamal running in without the ball to Marnus today. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I saw it,
Just a bit of hijinks and a bit of humour and stuff.
Would you say it's a little bit of cat and mouse?
Yeah. It's and that's the kind. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
You want to talk about the light?
Yeah, well, light's the big chat because.
Why don't they play the game at Marvel?
Yeah, and you get all of the suggestions that come through.
But it's red versus purple tonight.
30,000 like the media whirs into gear pretty well here, and rightly so, I guess. But they've got their own, industrial complex to whose interest they need to serve. They want to put the content in front of fans, sell ads around it, and generally fans want to watch the cricket. Generally speaking, when you go to the cricket, you want to watch it.
Sometimes
I want to get into that, but
playing.
And is that really what cricket's about? I think Khawaja made that point. But 30,000 disgruntled cricket fans sent home early after umpires took players from the field due to bad light, despite not having a working light meter with them to gauge an accurate reading. The light meter broke, so they went, no good. Time for a pint of milk.
Mate, just think about this, the archaic nature of what's happening in this sport. Like during this series, like not just like the fielding from one side, blokes off the field taking a piss. I'm seeing Ravi Shastri commentating in South Africa talk about if you're just taking a dump.
Yeah, that's right.
India's all out. India's all out. There's blokes getting stuck in the lift, so you can't fucking start the game. Yeah. They're going off a light. What's the light? Don't know. It just looks a little bit overheads for me.
Exactly.
What is this sport?
So one of the things that got suggested was like people are blowing up. It's like, come on, this isn't too bad. And I think that's fair enough. But perhaps they could use a pink ball instead. And the players were asked about it. Khawaja said, the game, I don't think the game's changed. People are just getting a bit more impatient. It sucks. That's Test cricket, unfortunately. When it rains or you have bad light, you just have to cop it. You've got 5 days of cricket to get a result. I still think there'll be a result in this game. Now, are you seeing that as like pretty reasonable thoughts on what Test cricket is, or is that just pure batter talk? Is it just a fucking batsman going like, if anything's vaguely difficult, remotely difficult for me, or not going to help me score runs, I'm not in favour of it.
Probably both things are true, but at the same time, like, even though we just ripped on them for buying low 130s, like, if you've ever had a look at that, it's like, oh, that's pretty scary. So I don't want anything around my body, my elbows, my armpits, my neck, my head, nothing of those sorts. At the same time, is there going to be a result? Oh, I would have thought so. I mean, just the ball that got Warner out is like Lions involved in the game here, third innings, but then can Pakistan's spinners win them a game? I mean, that's what I feel like. It's just looking a few cars ahead. Are we looking at probably scores relatively even unless someone does something good on day 3, Jay McGrath Day? I mean, many things can happen, Pezza.
Indeed, there's like someone could score runs.
It's almost like there's 60% of the game left.
I saw a thundering piece in the
what I wouldn't give in the tubs.
Yeah, I wish it was on my own body.
But that's a thundering piece.
What a thundering piece that is.
I had to leave clubs after that. They kicked me out of the club.
It's in the Australian. It's from Julian Linden, who I think is a good writer. Said, how many times does it need to be said? But if Test cricket is to survive in the 21st century, it needs to come to the realisation that it is in the entertainment business.
We're competing against TikTok.
Their unforgivable crime is that they keep ignoring the golden rule of showbiz, that the show must always go on. Now, what I like about this is that, like, it's always funny seeing Test cricket run through the lens of, like, fucking Ari Gold. Ari Gold with his suit. Like, and I totally get it. It's just funny. Like, this is a game where they wear fucking white trousers and drink tea and eat scones at 3:20 p.m.
That's
on
right.
the dot.
Yep.
And just the idea that that's kind of coming, like, there's a nexus of that with Ari Gold and what showbiz is and what you've got to understand about showbiz is. It's like, mate, you got to realise this is the dumbest game that was made in the 1800s to project English civility to the rest of the fucking empire and let them know who's in charge and what civility looks like. Like, so to that end, like, when you're like, no, the show must go on, it's like, no, it does go on. Sit down with your dad, who you've gone to the cricket with, and have a conversation with him. The one that you've dreamt of having with him, where you lock him in the car and drive him and say, I've got you now, you bastard. That's what cricket can offer.
like people used to play cricket on Sundays, Pezza, because like the cinema wasn't open. Now, like blokes are going down to Friday night just trying to cop a thumper in the backseat of a taxi. On the way to the ground. Yeah. That's what cricket is now.
Cricket's got bigger problems than pink balls. Like, the cinemas are open now.
Yeah. Cop a thumper.
Cop an absolute victor. So, I think there's bigger existential questions at play than, is it a pink ball? Or is the light meter working or not? Yeah. It's like, we've got a couple of issues to solve if we genuinely want Test cricket to be fucking show business. Like, if anyone thinks this is show business, they've lost their minds completely. Yeah. It's like, that's the whole beauty of Test cricket. It's not. It's dumb. It's slow. It's anachronistic. It's got nothing to do with society in any way. Yep. Stop, names and numbers on backs. Who gives a shit? Yep. It's the dumbest thing of all time. Yep. Have a conversation with your friends. Let it rain. Contemplate your life. Meditate on it. Get anxious about your life. That is genuinely the experience of cricket. I don't really know what I'm saying. I mean, maybe they just played on, but
you've got
something to think about.
You've got plenty of options for your Friday, January 6th, I think it is. You've got TikTok, you've got Broadway, or you've got day 3 at the SCG. Those are your 3 options. Thank you so much to everyone that has been to our live shows. This is our last show for the Australian tour this summer here in Perth, or Fremantle tonight, Brisbane last night, Sydney the night before that, Melbourne before Christmas, and Adelaide the week before that. I've sold every single ticket available. It's been absolutely amazing. I hope you've had a wonderful time off. I hope you've enjoyed day 1 and 2 of this Test match. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll be back in Melbourne, of course, for day 3 to celebrate day 3 of the Sydney Test match back in Melbourne. So see you guys then. Cheers.